Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is your man Thatch the Great checking in once again. Let's get straight to it. Well, as I've said many times, guys, I am a man of the people. I am here as a conduit, hoping that I can touch and help as many people out there in the world as possible through my thoughts, through my perspective, through my philosophy. You know, I've done a lot of living in my life, not trying to make it seem like I'm the end all be all of knowing it all, but I've done a lot of living and I love sharing my experiences and my perspectives with the rest of the world. With that being said, as you guys know, on most of my streams, I make it clear. If you guys want to get in touch with me, if you have questions for me, please feel free to reach out to me via email, which is thatchthegreat@gmail.com. I'll put it on the screen briefly. That's my email address, guys. If you ever see any of my streams, any of my content, you need to get in contact with me, want to get with me, send me an email there. I check it often. And I actually have a viewer who sent me an email a couple of days ago, and I'm actually going to be addressing that email directly now that I actually have sufficient time to do it right now. So without any further ado, just to give you a bit of a background, this is someone who apparently was reaching out to me on behalf of a man that is in their life that is apparently going through an extremely tumultuous situation with what I like to call a black widow. Is a woman that's not even a biological parent to his children, but somehow, some way, apparently he lost the custody or he lost the ability to have his kids, even though this woman's not even related. So I'm going to read the email, like I said, and then I'm going to address it and give the best perspective that I possibly can, because like I said, this is just one of those situations that maybe can serve as a cautionary tale to others. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and pull that up here. Okay. I won't even mention any names just for confidentiality purposes, but the letter starts, and let me go ahead and put the title on the screen here while I'm at it. All right. So let me read this letter. She contacted me a couple days ago, and she said, I'll just read the letter verbatim, okay? Then we'll dive into it. All right, she says, "Good morning. I am emailing you on behalf of my niece's baby daddy. It's a long story, and there has been so much drama, but I'm hoping that you can help give some guidance as he navigates this. His situation starts," let me make sure I'm sorry, just making sure, y'all. Hold on. "His situation starts with my niece's baby daddy having his two daughters, to him getting in another relationship with a girl who somehow manipulated not only my niece, but him as well, into somehow signing over my niece's parental rights to the girls, and then convincing the courts to give her custody of the girls." What? That is insane in itself. Okay. And he is paying an almost unattainable amount of child support. All right, my blood is really boiling now. All right. "He is a young black man that came from the foster system and is lost on how to go about this, because the girl that has his children now has gone as far as making a scratch on herself to have him arrested." Sound familiar, guys, from my previous content? All right. "He's scared to go against the court system because they are ruling in her favor." No surprise there. "Ultimately, he wants her completely out of their lives. He is not the first person that she has tried to take a child from. He's just the first one she succeeded in making it happen. He made the mistake of believing whatever she told him over the past few years and was not aware of the craziness she's done and gotten away with, especially with the court system. So much of what you have spoken about on your podcast resonates with what he's going through now. He is experiencing everything the biological mom went through with this same girl before she ultimately gave up due to the mental health issues it caused." Let me reread that. Some of this is a little bit rough, so I'm trying to make it make sense. "He is experiencing everything the biological mom went through with this same girl." Okay, I have so many questions already. All right, let me finish the email though. "This is only the gist of everything that is going on. I'm trying to help him, but I've never been through the court system like this to know how it works. that women get away with flat out lies. Any advice would help so much. Please. Okay. Whew. A lot to digest there. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Okay. So first and foremost, we have a situation here where this young man, now this is the part now, let me know if this is just as perplexing to you guys. And before you ask, yes, I asked if he could get on with me so that we could actually chop it up in person on live so that we could have a real conversation. She's trying to see if he's able to do so, but I did not want to let this fester for long because he might need some advice and some game like right now. So I wanted to dive right into this and get straight to it. And I will, if he's able to come on, I will do another episode and I will absolutely break it down with this young man. Because this sounds like a situation and a scenario from hell. Would you agree? Can you imagine? Now, this is the part that's perplexing to me. It's in this email here. She said that him and the mother of his child allowed this woman to manipulate them both out of allowing her to get custody of the children, the parental rights, signing over my niece's parental rights. So the woman who's writing is I'm guessing the aunt to the niece. Obviously. So her niece signed over her parental rights, and I'm guessing the father did as well. There's so many questions that I have there because that just doesn't really add up. That just doesn't make sense. Oh man. I need to know a little bit more of background. Like what would they be going through? What turmoil were they going through? What was their train of thought that would even make them feel comfortable with doing that with a woman that was still, even at that point, pretty much a stranger? I'm guessing there had to be some extenuating circumstances that we just don't know, but I can't imagine any scenario where anyone would want to do that. So that's a little bit peculiar, but given the fact that she did get them to do so, which obviously means that this woman is a master manipulator, that she made them feel comfortable with doing that. It says, all right, then she convinced the courts of giving her custody of the girls. And in addition to that, now the young man is also paying an extremely high amount of child support. As we know, that's just how this country works. They like to really stick it. They like to really stick it to all the black dudes out there that are actively trying to be good fathers. If you are involved in the child's life, like I stated in many of my videos, doesn't matter how active you are, they're still going to hit you over the head with that child support. Just be ready for it. Hold on 1 second here. Let me ban this bitch ass dude. Bo, go fuck yourself, you bitch ass nigga. Let me go ahead and ban you and get you on your way. Thank you. Have a good one. We're talking about real shit here. I don't have time for games tonight because this dude needs my help. So let's break it down here. I guess what's not making sense to me. All right, so the guy was in a relationship with a woman, this woman's niece. I guess him and the niece broke up. He went and had a relationship with this other woman here. And the other woman, this is the part that is most perplexing to me. How did the woman, the outsider, how did she manipulate and convince the daddy and the mother into signing over their parental rights to her? What could have possibly gone on that would make that happen? There's a lot that I'm missing here. And this is why I got to be able to chop it up with this dude in real time on another stream, because I need some answers as far as how did he even get to that point? What occurred that would make them feel comfortable with even thinking about doing something like that? Because that sounds crazy to me. I can't imagine that. So regardless, let's deal with the fact that we have here, because I do want to be able to provide advice if I can. All right, so they got manipulated out of their rights to their own children. Crazy as it is. Okay. All right, he's a young black man. He came from the foster system himself. So that lets me know that to an extent, at least, he most likely also has some kind of PTSD. I don't know anybody who grew up in the foster system that doesn't have all kinds of trauma from that, because they don't take care of those kids. They don't take good care of those kids in the foster system. They don't. And then they just start treating them like numbers, if you know anything about how that foster system works. So he grew up in the foster system, and he is lost on how to go about this. The girl has his children now. And then she said that this girl has put scratches on herself to get him arrested. Does that sound familiar, guys, to some of my previous content, how I said the mother of my child tried to harm herself just to make it appear as if I abused her as well? This is the game that evil women play. Evil bitches play these games. And due to the fact we live in a nation where so much is skewed towards the woman, they don't even ask questions. They will just take the man to jail without actually having the burden of proof actually being proven. They'll just take the woman's word, take the man to jail, and just sort it out later. It's bullshit, but that's just how it works. Anyways, he's scared to go against the court system because they're ruling in her favor. I get it. As I state, once again, there's so many parallels in this letter here. That's why I feel it. He's scared to go against the court system because they're ruling in his favor. Now, me, I was not scared to go against the court system, but that's solely due to the fact, or I can definitely attribute that, should I say, to the fact that I actually knew that I had enough bread to fight it. But not everybody has the funds necessary to go get a good lawyer so that they can actually properly fight the bullshit in court. A lot of people don't. That's just the reality that we live in. So what happens in situations where a man doesn't really have those funds readily available is he gets taken advantage of. Even if he's trying to be a great father to his own kids, even if he's trying to be there actively, and this woman's keeping his kids from him. This woman, who, might I remind you, is not a biological parent to the kids. She bamboozled both of these parents out of their parental rights to their own children, and now she's playing keep away. How evil, how spiteful, how vindictive can you possibly be? This is just disgusting. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. All right. Ultimately, he wants her completely out of their lives. I bet. Understandably. Of course he does. He is not the first person that she has tried to take a child from. He's just the first one that she succeeded in making it happen. I just don't get this. Does this woman have some kind of sick, malevolent fetish? Or does she get off by trying to take men's kids from them? Because that's what it seems like. I've never heard of any situation like this. Let me know if any of y'all have. This woman apparently gets off on meeting men who have kids and somehow being so smooth and apparently so manipulative that she finds a way to actually make them feel comfortable with signing over their rights to her. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, I'm racking my brain. What in the world would make anyone comfortable, man or woman, with willingly signing over their parental rights to a stranger? I can't imagine any scenario. The only scenario that I would think someone would actually do that is if they know that they are personally a harm to that child and that they can have a much better life if they live with this person. But in this scenario, I think we should all agree that this woman would not even be qualified to be considered that. Because once again, I don't know the scenario. I got to get this young man on the line. I got to get another live where we can talk in real time on my channel here and we can really chop it up, because I got so many questions here. Why did you even allow her to manipulate you or make you feel comfortable with signing over your parental rights to your own kids, bro? That's my first question. And I'm not coming down on you. If you happen to see this, I'm not coming down on you. But I got to know what your train of thought was. Where was your mind at when you did that? What was the reason? I need to know. These are all important questions. These are all important questions. Orangutan. It's always the dumbass mofos. Like, bro, I am all right. I'm not even going back and forth with morons tonight because I'm trying to have a serious conversation. Okay. So back to what I was saying. I need to know. It's just certain things I need to know in this situation so that I can have a much better grasp of the entire scenario. Because I can't imagine a scenario that anyone would willingly just give up their parental rights and their custody of their children to someone they just met. What could someone say to you? I don't know. I have no clue. Really, I really don't. All right. So it says he made the mistake of believing whatever she told him over the past few years and was not aware of all the craziness she's done. What did she tell him? Like, I just need more answers. I need so many answers. What the hell did this woman tell him? She must have, oh my gosh, she must have like A+ level game. Like her mouth game must be crazy. Her talk game must be crazy for her to say something that somehow over the course of those years made this man feel comfortable with signing over his parental rights to his own daughters. I just can't imagine anything that will make a man comfortable with doing that. Why? For what? You are the father. And the woman that you had those kids with is the mother. Why would both of y'all sign over your parental rights? That's what makes me once again say that there had to be some type of situation where maybe they were going to lose custody of the children, and they just figured that this is someone that we know, and before that occurs, maybe we will sign our rights over to her so that she can take care of them because we trust her. Maybe that's it. Maybe it was a situation where they were going to lose the custody of the children, and they figured that was the best option before that occurred. And once again, this is not a judgment on them in any way. And I'm not like trying to make it seem like I'm in any position to judge. I'm simply just trying to make sense out of the facts and the information that I have been given here. So once again, I'll just say Heather. Heather is who wrote me the email. Heather, if you happen to see this, please provide me with more information, or even better, please see if the young man who you are writing this letter about, please see if he is willing to come on my channel so that we can have a proper conversation and we can just go down the entire timeline of how this entire debacle occurred, so that hopefully I can provide some true substantive advice to him on how he can move and how he can start little by little, step by step, the process, begin the process of getting his kids back, because that's what I want for him. I want him to get his kids back, and I want the mother of the children to also get her children back, her daughters. This bitch that y'all allowed to come into your lives obviously has no good intentions for your kids. Anyways, let's see. Let me see. I'm reading this one more time. He made the mistake of believing whatever she told him over the past few years and was not aware of all the craziness she's done and gotten away with, especially with the court system. So much of what you have spoken about in your podcast resonates with what he's now going through. He is experiencing everything the biological mom went through with the same girl before she ultimately gave up. I'm guessing the biological mom ultimately gave up due to mental health issues that it caused. This is only the gist of everything that is going on. So clearly there's a hell of a lot more that needs to be stated, and a hell of a lot more information that needs to be relayed to me, because she said this is just the gist, which means this is just a little small piece of the full story. And I would absolutely love to have the full story so that we can break it all down. All right, she says, I'm trying to help him, but I've never been through the court system like this to know how it works and how women get away with flat out lies. I don't understand that either, but that's just how the court system works, unfortunately. They always just believe the women blindly. Any advice would help so much. Okay, I think that I have pretty much done as much as I can with just this, short email that I've been given and that was sent to me. And Heather, I'm hoping that you can connect the dots for me. Get me in contact with this young man so that we can get on the channel here and we can really do a deep dive into this whole scenario, this whole situation, the ins and outs, all the nuance of it, because I feel like there's a hell of a lot of information that I am missing here. And in order for me to really be able to help you out and provide substantive advice, I got to be able to have the full story, okay? So I do hope that my breakdown here has been at least beneficial to an extent as far as how I feel about what you sent here in the email. But I would definitely need to have a conversation with the gentleman himself, or maybe you can provide me with all the information that you know. If he's not willing to get on the channel, fine. Perhaps you're willing to get on. I just need to have the full story. That's all I'm saying. I can't really go off of this short email as far as being able to provide real advice. That's just my perspective on what I've been given here. But please, Heather, if you don't mind, shoot me another email. Let me know if we're able to connect the dots. Maybe you can give me the contact information for the young man, or even better, you can have him reach out to me directly and we can set something up, okay? I will absolutely always be willing to help out a young man who has found himself in an extremely difficult situation. Extremely difficult situation, that, as I clearly just read there. And that's actually all I wanted to talk about tonight in regards to this. I might get back on a little bit later and address some other topics, but I wanted to give this particular topic its own stream because it is important. Like I said, if you guys reach out to me at my email with any questions pertaining to anything that you've seen, you know, I speak about a very wide array of topics and subject matter. So if you have any questions that you need my perspective on, you want my advice, if you want to get on the channel, break it down, chop it up with me, shoot me an email. We can set something up. Once again, my email address, thatchthegreat@gmail.com. I check it frequently. Just let me know what's on your mind. Let me know if you have any questions for me. You know, without my viewers, you know, I don't have a channel. So I'm absolutely always here to chop it up with you guys. All right. And yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that, man. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. And once again, Heather, if you're able to connect the dots for me, get me in contact with this young man so that we can have a real conversation. I'm definitely open to it. Okay. Y'all stay safe, stay dangerous. This is your man, That's the Great. I'll holla. Peace.